Welcome back to Prime Reason. This is the podcast where we give reasons for life, experience, and growth. Heavy on the growth. My name is Suki, and I will be your host this evening. And we are on episode 3. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy as I'm counting up the episodes, even though we just get here. But happy Friday. Welcome back to everybody who's rejoining me for another week. I hope y'all had a good week. TGIF. And to anybody that's just joining for the first time, welcome in. Take a seat, get comfortable, because we chilling. Okay, so today we are talking about forgiveness. Oh my gosh. I have a love-hate relationship with that word because like a lot of us, we going through betrayal, we going through hurt, and forgiveness initially is not the first thing I think about. I'm not thinking about how to forgive a person initially. Now I would say in some cases where I want to handle a person with grace, I stop myself from getting upset and I stop myself from reacting emotionally, and I'm like, you know what? This person's mad right now, or this person is like in a bag. I think that's instant forgiveness just for the situation, for what's occurring. Because if I didn't, I'm tearing that A up. Tearing that A up. We mopping you. I'm mopping you. We could take it to hell, quite frankly. But I just feel like there's like this idea that if you don't forgive a person, you're just an unreasonable person. You hold grudges, and I think that's BS. And I really don't think forgiveness is about the other person winning. It's not a competition. It's more so what a person is willing to understand and the serenity of life. Like how I'm willing to say, yo, life overcame me. That a person or something disappointed me that deeply that I have to go through this process of forgiveness. And I really feel like forgiveness is about us having an understanding of what happened. Like, I need to know what the heck just happened to me. Like, can we get through that part? People be wanting instant gratification through forgiveness. And it's like, bro, can I process the fact that like you did some weird shit? Can I get that at least? Like, and some people just don't. They're more self-indulged that they don't want to allow people to go through this human-like process of understanding and then forgive them. But I just feel like I don't have to show anybody that I forgive them. You don't even need to know. This is not about you. This is a personal understanding about something or someone with myself. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to come up to you. I forgive you. Now, I think there's an exception when it comes to this. Like relationships, I think require a lot of reassurance at times. And some people need verbal affirmations. They need verbal reassurance. And so they need to hear that they're forgiven and that you have moved on, because they might not be able to tell through your actions. And because people are so guilty at times, they're going to take everything that comes from you with the attitude or something that's more on the negative side as revenge from whatever they feel like you still need to forgive them for. And sometimes it's not even for that. It's like, I'm over it. I'm past that. I get it. We on another level. So if you see something coming from me, some energy come from me that you don't like, it's probably because something else occurred. It's probably not about what happened already. Like, so I just feel like it's nobody's business to know how you forgive and the thoughts that had to go through your mind to forgive. That's really between you and God. On a spiritual level, I feel like forgiveness spiritually mends you. It tames you. Because to be enraged and angry all the time, it fucks with a person spiritually. It makes you uneased. It gives you anxiety. It's just not a good feeling to carry that over you. And then it also leads you to like be easily triggered about things in a biased way. And I refuse to fall victim to a lot of these circumstances of, not forgiving. But I also take my time. Nobody's ever going to rush me into forgiving them. You're never going to make me feel like, especially if you're dead wrong. Like, you're never going to make me feel like I'm taking too long. Or I just want to be mad. Not at all. Because I didn't want to end up in a situation in the first place. But here we are. Like, it is what it is. But I do feel like a big part of forgiveness is realizing what you're even forgiving. Like, forget the situation at hand. What qualities in this situation or person do you have to forgive? I forgive you for being so selfish at times when I need you. I forgive that you don't hear me when I speak. You don't listen to me. I forgive you for that. Because there's something you obviously need more. And I think the things that we need to forgive people for, right? It's customizable per person, per situation, is that people are, in our perspective, let's say our is the people that feels hurt and has to do with forgiving, right? People feel like their needs are not being met. And so the other person is moving selfishly without consideration of them, right? Of us. And so all in all, we have to forgive that a person not considering us or didn't consider how we felt or our well-being. And that's like the baseline. I think that's the baseline to forgiveness. And that's where you start. You start there. If you can't wrap your head around what the person really did to you and it's almost like a prayer, like how to speak to what they neglected to do for you. Start there. That general idea. I forgive you for not considering me. I forgive you for not being there for me when I needed you to be. And so that will help a lot of people just get through it, because I used to struggle with forgiveness. And you know what it is for me? I used to really feel like forgiveness means I have to talk to you again, that I have to be around you, that I have to be friends with you again. I thought they all coincided. And I learned, hell no. I could forgive somebody and never see them again. I could forgive somebody and never want to speak to them again. I could forgive somebody and never want to work with them again. Because to forgive means I acknowledged what happened. Okay? What happened, what transpired, and I'm past that. But how I'm going to move past that is in this way, meaning distance for sure. Now, it's a lot of people that are guilty of things and have to be forgiven, and they don't like that people distance themselves after. They get upset about that. They don't like that people maneuver. And it's like, why are you mad that I, due to a situation that transgressed between me and you, have to distance myself? Just because I forgave you doesn't mean you're not a trigger. Doesn't mean that I have to be around you. Me being in a position, right? There's been a few times where I'm wrong. I'm wrong about something. I've hurt somebody's feelings, and I don't even make myself mentally feel obligated to that person's space, their time, conversation, nothing. Because how a person got to cope with feelings on their own is how they have to cope. I'm not going through the coping. I might be empathetic for their feelings and feel like their pain and feel like, damn, I really did hurt you, and that hurts me. But it's not the same, because you're not feeling what they're feeling directly from you, you know? And so, yeah, I totally understand on both ends, like how to be a person that needs to be forgiven and how you have to forgive people. And yeah, there's trust me, it's been so many times where I had to forgive, move on, and I'm just pissed. And I had to stop being pissed, you know? And I know what I feel means something to me, and I know that it's real. But it's like, what is this serving me? What is being upset about it serving me? Why hold on to it, you know? And so that's why I got the consensus and conclusion of forgiveness is to release the negative feelings on your heart, on your conscience, because who has time for that? All that time and energy that you put into towards giving somebody your anger and letting that out, and spending your time indulging that type of energy, you could be indulging in anything else, anything positive. And so it's like just one of those things, like I'm doing this for me, because once again, you may not be here no more after today. A part of my forgiveness is you gotta go, you gotta move away from me. And so to some people, like I said, it's an unorthodox way to handle it, but it works for some people. You know, I wish you all the best in life, but I don't got to be a part of your life any longer because you overstepped. You did too much. And so I totally understand that. Like I said, I used to feel like I was a grudgeful person, and there's a part of me that is very prideful about my self-respect and about my boundaries, because it took me a while to formulate my boundaries. As I matured as a woman, I worked on my boundaries actively. And to me, that's a part of maturity. How strong your boundaries are, your non-negotiables, that you have those things assessed to you and in your head, that when it's time to convey those to the people that you want to invite to your world, that is clear. I know what I want. I know what I don't like. Okay. Because I think that's the difference between like a mature and immature relationship, is a person who doesn't know what they're willing to settle for, a person who doesn't know what they're willing to leave for. And so it causes this like rocky scenario with that type of person, where it's like, should I stay? Should I go? Where it's just like, do you want to leave or not? And that brings me back to the point where when you're in relationships with people and like for the long haul, right? Let's say they cheated, they did something disrespectful to you. Let's just leave it there, okay? Because it's a plethora of things that happens in relationships besides cheating, okay? But cheating is definitely up there on the list that a lot of people think of. Anyways, they did something that you don't care for, something disrespectful, and you choose to stay with them. I'm going to say that you have to forgive them. You have to forgive them. Because what's the point? If all right, we're going to go back to specifically cheating. If someone cheats on me and I decide to stay, at the end of the day, the person is still human. You know, like if you want them to still be there, you shouldn't treat them like an animal. You shouldn't just, you know, of course you're grieving your relationship and damn, my person just cheated on me. Like, what? The trust is very, very thin right now, but we gonna stick it through, you know? But it's like, you don't get to walk around and torture that person and throw in their face that they're a cheater. If you decide that you want to stay with them, I don't think people should be allowed to do that in relationships. If you gonna stay and get past that. Because it's like a ghost is haunting your bed, your household, just your relationship in general. You have a ghost haunting y'all. And it's like, it's just not fair. It's not even fair to you. What's the point? What is the point of staying in a relationship if you're going to do that? If you're going to create a ghost to haunt y'all, what's the point? So I think forgiveness is so important, once again, just for the spirit, the soul to move on in life. But you do it when you want to. You do it when you feel like you're ready. You do it when you feel like it makes sense to. Okay? Because it's nothing like a rabbit hole of trying to understand forgiveness over and over and over again. Where you thought you had it and it's like, bro, I'm not over it yet. And then you feel like you got it again. It's like, bro, I'm not, And so I guess this is where we also realize, like, if people have habits, active habits, or if it is the past, because I think that's what makes the difference between a grudge. And I don't even know the other word for it, but just like, I'm mad for a reason right now because you continuously do behaviors that I don't like and that I told you is disrespectful to me. So it's not a grudge if it's still existing. A grudge is from the past, that I'm thinking about things from the past. But if you are consistently still doing the same behavior I told you I don't like, it's not a grudge, Bookie. That's the wrong word. Okay. And I'm trying to forgive you, but you keep reliving. You keep making me relive. Crazy work. I'm just learning to live and forgive because I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be mad. And so if I gotta forgive, and that's just how life goes, I'm gonna do it for the sake of my health, my mind. And so anybody out there that is in need of forgiveness, you feel like you need to be forgiven, give that person time. Give that person time. Damn, I thought I brought my tissues. I didn't bring it. But give that person time. Let that person go through what they need to go through. Don't push them. Don't make them feel bad because they're going through their own personal analysis. And then for people that need to forgive someone, really sit back, be unbiased about what happened, what transpired, because that'll help you filter out the feelings in order to forgive eventually. And really think through, like, what happened to me? Why do I even feel like something happened to me? Because in some people's world, what this person just did, that another person wouldn't even take personal. Another person wouldn't even be offended by that. It wouldn't even have gotten to this degree. But here we are, where I have to make this grand gesture to forgive. So think about all those things where it's just like evaluating them, evaluating you, and then forgive. So that's it for today. I just want to thank everybody again for pulling up. This is Prime Reason. Once again, make sure you guys follow Prime Reason on Instagram at Prime Reason Podcast, and like, share, and subscribe. And catch me back here Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Good night.
Follow Prime Reason on Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. See you next Friday.